Hi everybody, I'm David Lusso here for Coin Television, and we're at the 8th annual U.S. Mexican Numismatic Association Convention. There's people from all over the world here. They want to buy and sell coins and numismatics of Mexico and Latin America. It's one of the most fun conventions you'll ever go to. Each Thursday before the convention starts, there's a soiree. All the dealers come and they eat and drink and are lustig together and have a great time. The convention will be starting tomorrow. Right now, everybody's just going to have fun and enjoy the U.S. Mexican Numismatic Association Convention. Oh, certainly the food court is one of the most popular of the areas here at the convention, at the soiree from Thursday night. People eat and drink to their pleasure, and when you look around, you see all kinds of people here. It's a very relaxed convention. It's a lot of fun, and you have the chance to experience numismatic camaraderie. Well, this is the silent auction. This is where things that are being sold to help benefit the U.S. Mexican Numismatics Association. People can write their bids and hope to win the items. There's all kinds of cool things. Books, coins, even Mexican stock certificates. Best of all, knowledge. The camaraderie is just delightful. So many people come, and because it's a small boutique show, there's only about 40 dealers, the atmosphere is really delightful. People come, and it's just as much a social event as it is a way to do business. You see old friends and talk business deals. So it's finally become nighttime. The people are relaxing. Everyone's just waiting to close out the silent auction, and then we're going to have the awards ceremony.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're off to the award show. So, Kent, what do you have to say this evening? What do you think?
I think first and foremost, I just want to thank everybody for coming and making this happen. Especially in this day and age where, some shows attendance is down and struggling. You guys are really what makes this happen. Everybody's showing up year after year, and we really appreciate it, and we want to thank you all for coming.
It's surprising how much talk there is about this show, too, because it's so different than the other shows that are going on out there, and how much fun people have here. Same as Ken. I think this is great, and will continue to grow over time. I'm glad everybody's having fun. So, let's start with the best article for Spanish Colonial to Kyle Pontario. The article was Cobs and the Maritime Silk Road, a survey of cobs found in the Yemen. Like to do one, Ken?
Nope, it's you.
Oh, okay. Thanks for the light this time, David. 4, best article, War of Independence and Imperial. The Defiant... I'll take my glasses off. The Defiant snake variety of the 1864 Mexican Imperial Centavo, Guzman Sanchez Smith.
Next is the category of best article for Republic. Mexican Republic Half Reals, a seductive series, goes to William Siegel.
And I'll shake your hand. Thank you. Thank you. Next is best article for Revolution. The Guerrero 1914 Dos Pesos Sur of the Ejército Libertador del Sur to David Hughes.
Okay, the next category is 20th Century and Modern, and it's 1933, a very interesting year for the Mexican silver peso, and surprisingly, because this is an author that repeatedly submits articles for 20th Century, Scott Dahl.
Congratulations,
thank you.
and thanks to Scott. He does a lot of writing.
He probably has a wall of those things at this point.
Really? Wallpaper. Best article, Paper Money General, for notes of La Brigada Morales y Molina, Elmer Powell. And I know he's here. Thank you, Elmer. Best article for Revolutionary Paper Money, 3 presidents, a single paper money issue to Cedrian Lopez Bosch, Martineau.
Okay, and the last award for articles is the best overall article. And I know you guys are going to claim nepotism on this, but you know what? It really was unanimously voted the best article. It was a very good and academic article that a lot of work went into. Cobs of the Maritime Silk Road, a survey of cobs found in Yemen by Kyle Pontario.
Great job, Kyle.
At this point, we're going to give away the plaques thanking people that gave talks and lectures last year.
Oh, here, this is, you got to do this, I can't.
We'll do that one last. Kyle, get back up here. So, in gratitude of his 2018 lecture on Cobs of the Maritime Silk Road, Kyle Pontario.
Kyle was one of the few participants that was willing to pay $50 extra for the extra awards. Okay, in gratitude of his 2018 lecture on Mexican Republic, half reals to Bill Siegel. Thanks again, Bill.
Thank you. Thanks, man.
This next person's not here and profusely apologized and assured us he will be here next year. But in gratitude of his 2018 lecture on errors and varieties, Jay Turner, and we'll give this to Jay at the Long Beach show, so let's thank Jay.
So then, in gratitude of his lecture on Mexican Personified, the Rise and Fall of a Native Avatar, Peter Dunham. And Peter is going to arrive tomorrow morning. He's got a great lecture scheduled this year as well. I know how much you guys like listening to him. He's great fun. Here's for Peter. So we're down to the annual awards that we give out, for just for overall service and work for the association.
An all-around good guy and fun-loving guy and somebody that's done a lot for the organization.
The 6th annual Jed Crump Award goes to Dan Sedgwick.
Okay, next up is the 6th annual Richard Doty Award, who Richard, we all know, was a great academic and a very big supporting member of our organization. And this goes to Peter Dunham, who unfortunately isn't here yet, but will be here tomorrow. And if any of you have had a chance to watch one of his lectures, this guy is like a living Indiana Jones that's gone and done excavations, and his lectures are fascinating. So thank you, Peter.
So then lastly, for outstanding contribution to the promotion of numismatics through the exhibit of significant sections of Mexican holdings, for articles written, for an overall great guy.
I'm going to say that this guy has probably submitted more articles to the journal than anybody else, and just repeatedly, like a machine, is just cranking them out for us.
Yeah, we don't see much of him. Hopefully he's here tonight. The award goes to William Lovett.
Maybe
William here tonight.
Maybe Simon can come up and take this to him in England.
He's from London. Simon, would you please deliver this for us? Come up here and pick this up and deliver it for us. Wait. Hey, please tell Bill how much we miss him, okay? And ask him to show up next time.
So that's the show, folks.
That's the end of the
So
show.
make sure you check in at the front desk with Emily, see what the schedule are for lectures the next couple days. Tomorrow night there will be 2 buses out front. Normal catered party at my house, so raid my wine cellar, come play pinball with us.
And that includes open bar, pinball, barbecued dinner. Fun will be had by all.
And by the way, if you show up and you don't have fun, you are not a fun person. So buses are leaving at 6:45.
Thanks to everybody. Have a great evening.
All right, take care.
I had a chance to talk to one of the parties of World Numismatics. They're one of the people that are involved with the U.S. Mexican Numismatic Association convention, and they had some really cool coins to show you, our coin television viewers.
Well, we host the show every year here in Scottsdale, and we bring a big inventory of coins, world coins and Mexican and Latin American coins. So we come and set up and enjoy the talks and the exhibits and be a part of the community here.
Great, well, great. And we asked our dealer friends, do you have anything really cool to show us?
Yeah, I brought something today it's not Mexican related, but it's a piece of World War II history. And really what I like about it is that it sort of shows the universality of coins and gold and the usefulness of gold, particularly in times of trouble or duress. This is a World War II flying kit. It's a kit that a soldier or a pilot would have had sewn into their jacket, and if they were downed and in trouble, they could use this kit to trade with the locals or whoever found them to get back to safety, to get back to their line, and they would trade this gold. So really it's intended for a rescue procedure for soldiers in World War II.
So it indicates the universality of gold.
Well, it indicates the usefulness of gold, really. It's something that can get you out of trouble. So we have multiple stories of people throughout history that have had to flee a dangerous situation, and the first thing they took with them was gold. So in this situation, you have pilots who had a way out of trouble. So there were 3 gold rings that were probably 14 or 15 karat. Looks like 3 half sovereigns, 20 francs, and a full sovereign.
And talk about the 20 franc.
Yeah, these are all coins that would have been common, useful, and well known wherever the theater was in World War II at the time. So these are European coins, and these would be well known and very liquid and easy to for the person who found the soldier or the pilot to go and sell at market value. So basically reap the reward for helping out an American soldier.
Show the sovereign too.
So this would have been sealed. This is sealed rubber. And so we cracked it open to confirm what was inside, but it would be sealed just like this and then sewn into the jacket of a pilot.
And what are the coins worth, and what is it worth as a collector's item?
As a collector's item, this is something we sell for around $2,500, which if you think about the amount of history and the variation within this piece of history, it's actually quite a modest price. I would say there's about net 1 ounce of gold in the whole set, but it's divided among 5 coins and 3 rings.
Tell me another cool story.
Okay. Well, this is a coin that we brought to the show here in Scottsdale. It's a Roman silver denarius of Cleopatra and Mark Antony. So, it's one of the most popular historical stories and maybe history's most famous couple. Cleopatra, it's interesting on this coin, it's a Roman imperatorial coin. She's actually on the obverse of the coin, sort of showing some of the power dynamic that she may have had over Mark Antony. But it's just a tremendous piece. It's very widely collected worldwide, and it's something that lovers of Roman history and Egyptian history would be looking for. These are coins that come. There's a tetradrachm and a denarius. Those are the 2 most popular types, and this is a really nice piece. Most collectors look for a nice legend where they can read Cleopatra's name on the obverse, and we're able to see a good amount of that on this example. So this is a coin that we really like.
How accurate are the portraits? Was she as beautiful as Liz Taylor?
Right. Well, that's always one of the number one questions. I think if you look at this coin closely, you actually get a pretty accurate depiction of her portrait, and that really tells us that shows us that ancient coins are not only coins, but they're actually depictions of portraits and political stories and all sorts of things that you might not find in a book. So that's part of why coins are very important to ancient history.
And what kind of value?
Something like this, we're selling for around $15,000. Well, there's one more I'd like to show you. It's probably my favorite coin series. It's over 2,500 years old, and it really is the birth of pure gold coinage in the Western world. It's a coin that's struck in 561 BC under King Croesus, and it's a heavy stater. It features a lion and a bull facing each other on the obverse, and on the reverse it's got an incuse punch, a very simplistic, crude punch. One story that I heard about the significance of the lion and the bull is that, and I like this translation or this perspective on it, is that the lion represents gold and the bull represents silver, and so they're facing each other but they're separate. So it's sort of a metaphor for the separation of gold and silver. I've also heard a story about the sun and the moon as being symbolic figures represented by the animals. So I like the gold and silver perspective because it's connected to the actual history of the purification of gold and separating out those alloys. So that's the perspective that I like. It's a tremendous coin. They're very heavily collected. They were struck in a few different weight standards. So there's a heavy standard and a light standard. This heavy one is about 10.7 grams. And there's also a prototype series, which is considered to be one of the earliest renditions of the type. So this is the beginning of the Western world figuring out how to properly assay precious metals. So whereas you might have earlier dated electrum coins that had more base metals and silver mixed into the gold, this is really a nearly pure gold coin. So it's the birth of pure gold coinage in the Western world.
And for our viewers that will want to know, how are coins like this found?
Many of these are found, are unearthed. They're found in the ground. So the earth has preserved them for many, many years. So when you see an ancient coin that has a beautiful look to it and you feel drawn to it, and it's not mint state, it's not a reason to be upset that it's not a perfect mint state coin. These were not made by machines. These were hand hammered. Each flan or blank that was used is a little bit different, but should be the same weight standard. So, you're not always looking for perfection. You're looking for a design. Since each one's a little different, you're looking for one that really captures your eye.
And is that the coin of the Midas touch?
Yeah, so this is from the same period. It's a part of that same story of King Midas. So everything that he touched was gold. You had a lot of this type of gold was found in riverbeds and out in nature, naturally occurring gold. So that also connects to the King Midas story.
What kind of value?
Something like this we sell. This is a VF Star 5555 graded by NGC, and it's a really wholesome, nicely struck piece. You can see a lot of the detail in the animals' necks and heads. So something like this we sell for around $22,000.
It's not just dealers from Latin America who come to the US-Mexican Numismatic Association convention. There's even a dealer from London who's come with a really cool auction of Mexican and Latin American coins.
We've been kindly invited to come here to Scottsdale in Arizona because we're offering for sale a fantastic fresh collection of Mexican coinage in our next auction on the 14th of November. As I say, we were invited to come along to meet the collectors and dealers and auctioneers here, and it's been a really lovely show.
What do you think about Scottsdale in America?
Well, we've been very busy here, so I haven't seen as much as I would have liked to, but it seems a really lovely place, lots of friendly people, and the weather is fantastic.
How about the food?
The food is also fantastic.
Great. And tell me about Morton and Eden.
We are an auctioneer in London. We are consultants to Sotheby's for coins and medals, and you don't usually come to Arizona for these shows, but we're really pleased to be here, and we are general auctioneers of all things numismatic.
All right, and tell me about this collection of Mexican coins you have.
Okay, well, we're offering for sale, again, on the 14th of November, the Mexico Collection, it's called, and it's 474 lots, and it's fresh to the market, very well chosen and collected, with some lovely rarities and very interesting things, and we've been very busy with the viewing here, so it's been great.
And tell me about some of the highlights.
Okay, so here we have a countermarked 8 reales, Durango Mint, 1824 RL, but it's doubly overstruck with a Manila 1828 countermark. You know, it's an interesting combination of things happening here with an interesting story, so people have been looking at this one quite closely. Here's the other side. Just turn you around.
So what is a counter stamp for our viewers that don't know?
So a counter stamp is when a coin is hammered with a new mark on top of the old undertype, either for a revaluation or for use in another country as new coinage.
What kind of estimate on this coin that it will bring?
We're saying 800 to 1,200 pounds for this one, and we'll see what happens on the day. So here we have a nice gold cob for escudos, 1695L, and it's a lovely coin with a good clear date, mint mark and assaya, and you know, when the marks are quite so clear, you know, they're more desirable. So we're hoping that this will make a price between £6,000 and £8,000.
How are these coins found? Mostly on shipwrecks?
They can turn up in shipwrecks, that's right, and sometimes in the ground even, or in old collections. I think often the strikings are not as good as they are in this example, and as I mentioned, the good clear date and assayer's mark. The date is just here. I don't know if you can see that on your camera. So it's 1695, just along the top there. So that makes it much more desirable. So this is a cool coin, and it's probably my favourite. It's a Philip V royal coinage, heart-shaped half real or corazon of Mexico City, dated 1716J. So these are better known from the Potosi Mint, but actually there's very little evidence for them existing from Mexico. So this is a rare animal, and there's been lots of discussion about it at the show. You can see clearly it's in the heart shape, that's why they call it a corazon. And it's just a beautiful little thing. And we're estimating 1,000 to 2,000 pounds. But if people decide that, you know, this is a proper and original strike, well, it could well make more.
Why did they make heart shapes?
If it was for a kind of presentation piece, the main question about this coin is whether it was deliberately produced as a corazon at the mint, or whether it was created later from a carefully crafted royal struck on an oversized flan. But the weight is good. It's 2.05, so it's slightly heavier than a typical example, and it might just be one of these original strikings. So this is also a very cool coin in my opinion. This is a hook neck 8 reales of Mexico City, 1824 JM, so it's a very early Mexican coin. And the cool thing about this, you might be able to see in your picture here, it's a famous legend error, so it just says Republica rather than Republica. And there are very few of these known, and people like these legend errors. They're interesting, and you know, it's human error down at the mint with the engraver, and you know, it's just a cool coin, cool thing. So just to show it over again. So there we've got the 8 reales Mexico City 1824 JM.
And what kind of value?
So for this one, it's very rare. So we're saying really 6,000 to 8,000. So it's one of the highlights of this auction.
David, those are really cool coins. Thanks for showing them.
You're welcome.
Do you think you'll come back to the US-Mexican convention?
We would absolutely love to, and I'd like to thank Corey, Kent and Max for inviting us along. And it's been a great show and a real pleasure.
A great thing at the US-Mexican Numismatic Convention is the opportunity to talk to the collectors that come. A young man approached me on the internet who'd seen one of our cool coin series, met me here at this convention, and had some cool Peruvian coins.
Well, actually, it's my first time. I started collecting 2 years ago, and I got involved with a lot of Mexican, Latin American collectors. So they invited me to this USMEX convention, and it's really fun. I mean, you get to talk with dealers and collectors on the same area that you like to collect, you know.
And why do you like Mexican coins?
I actually like Latin America, Mexico also, but my main collection is Peruvian and South America coins that I start to collect before. I like the design, and I think it's serious that it's also a lot of undervalue right now.
Good. And we always ask our collector friends, do you have a really cool coin to show us?
Yes, today I brought a nice coin that I found on this show. It's a One Escudo. It's a series that I collect. I'm especially doing Lima Mint, which is from Peru, by date. So I found an interesting coin, which is a 1780 over 79 Lima One Escudo. For One Escudos, you don't usually see overdates, and this is an unlisted overdate, so it's really interesting, you know, for my collection.
And for our viewers, tell what is an overdate.
So an overdate is like the coin was like struck like 1 year before, and then the next year they use it at the same day, they repunch it too. So for that year, 1780, you know.
So it's very unusual then.
Yeah, it's unusual, especially for gold One Escudos in Lima, because you don't see that much, you know. You can see that in silver one reals, but in Escudo it's very rare.
And how rare is it? What kind of value on that coin?
Well, it's maybe like a $1,500 coin, but like I said, it's a undervalued area right now, which it's really cool, you know.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you have another one.
Yes, I have it's a 1832 Popayan quarter real. It's from my collection. It's a very scarce date because it's a overdate as well.
Okay.
It's a variety 1832 over 7. So it's a 2 over 7. And about this coin, it's a very scarce type. The thing is that there is no unknown 1827 quarter real. So it's very interesting because that overdate tells you that actually there was minted in 1827, but there is no record for it. So it's a very rare coin.
And how important is it to research the coins and to get that knowledge out there for other collectors?
Oh no, it's really important. You know, you have to, especially if you're a collector or dealer, you do a lot of research to know what coin do you have in hand, and the history of the coin is what really.
And what is Popayan?
Popayan, was one of the mint house in Colombia. So they have a Popayan. Well, in the colonial times, Nuevo Reino. Also in Republic times, they have Bogota. So Popayan was a mint house since the colonial times for Colombia coins.
And what kind of value on this one?
Well, this is a very rare coin. One was auctioned back in 2014. There was just an MS63. That's all for $10,500. This is an MS63 that I bought, but it has a fully original color with a full mint luster, which looks a little bit better than the other example. So I guess probably $11,000, $12,000. Yeah, thank you.
And what would you say to get other people to collect coins? How can we get other people to become interested in coins?
Well, what I would say, it's a really interesting hobby, you know. I mean, some people see like you're spending money, but actually your money is there in your collection. So if A lot of people I have seen collectors that they got any problem, they think they don't have the money lost. They have their coins there that they can, maybe sell. Like right now, I don't sell my coins at all for my collection, but I like to deal some coins. I mean, you learn a lot about the history. I'm from Peru, so when I got into coins, I read, because one coin tells you the period or a very important event that happened in your country. So I learned a lot about my country history, with coins. Yes.
Patrick, how long have you been with World Numismatics?
I've been working with World Numismatics for about 1 year now. I've joined as a partner, and mostly overseeing ancient and so Roman and Greek coins, and then also Spanish colonial coins.
And where have you come from? What is your background?
My background, I've been working in numismatics since about 2001, and I've worked for a few different firms and also for some coin shops on the West Coast. So I like to say that I learned coins from the bottom up at coin shops, and have also worked with a lot of bigger firms and handled some major rarities in the last 15, 16 years.
And how did you get started in numismatics?
Actually, I was a jazz drummer in Los Angeles and needed a part-time job. And so a friend of a friend was a very well-known coin dealer at the time, and he offered me a job, and was basically working in U.S. Sorting proof sets, and also Franklin halves and Roosevelt dimes. So that's how I started.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
Who are your mentors?
I've worked with Mark Kranz and also Lee Minshall, and also worked at Bellevue Rare Coins up in Seattle and Bellevue. It's a wonderful company up there with Ryan Houlihan.
And what do you hope to do with your career?
I really just learned more and more about niche areas of numismatics that, we like to gravitate towards certain things that we know and the stories that captivate us, but there's so many more stories to learn and types of coins to learn and to hold. I mean, really, when you go and do an auction lot viewing at a major auction, you get a chance to hold something that maybe you can't buy, but you get to see it. So really, I just hope to participate more in more auctions, look at more coins, and travel. Traveling and looking at coins is one of my favorite things to do.
And how would you suggest for someone else that wanted to make coins a vocation to get started?
Really one of the best things to do is to read about it first. Before spending a lot of money, it's nice to read and get to know an area that you like. And I'd say one of the most important things is to really not just look at it as an investment, but look at it as a chance to really hold a piece of history. If it's a modern coin or it's an ancient Greek coin, you're holding a story, and you're holding something that has either been in the ground for a long time or has been in a collection for a long time. So read about it, learn something, and figure out why you are attracted to that thing, and before thinking about just the money, because it's not only a financial investment, it can also be a passion and a joy, which it is for many people.
And finally, why did you choose to be part of World Numismatics?
I think World Numismatics is positioned in the market to see and be offered a lot of the greatest coins available, and we also have a very good expertise in multiple product types, world coins, so world type coins, foreign coins, ancient. Multiple types, so it's just a nice, well-rounded, full-service firm that handles a lot of the best coins that are out there, and a great group of guys too.